Well, I guess yesterday I made a video about nosy people. Some of you in the comments said, hey, you got a YouTube channel and we watch. So you depend on nosy people. Well, I guess that's true to an extent, but I only tell you what I want you to know. You nosy one Kenobis. So today I figure, well, why don't I tell you what a typical day being retired, living out here with these mutts is like. It's probably not what you think. There isn't enough time in the day for what I do. But before I get into that, I want to mention one thing. I have a product review coming up probably tomorrow, and it's on an e-bike. And here's what I am going to do from now on with these e-bikes or whatever it is. I don't do many on my channel, but it dawned on me today. I am going to donate these to the dog rescue, and they can raffle them off locally and earn some money. So I'm helping a good cause, and it's not costing me anything. And I'm getting these products, so I might as well do that. So the reason I'm telling you is if you see these on there, there will always still be my regular video. Okay? I have, every time I put a product review up, people are unsubscribing. They're like, he sold out to the man. He's doing advertisements. Sold out to the man. I'm unsubscribing. Don't do that. These are extra videos, extras. And an added twist now. I'm going to be donating them to the dog rescue. Well, I am Tilly. She's not out there, baby girl. Come here. She's still looking for Melly. She knows Melly's gone. Anyway, typical day living out here. What is it? First thing, it's dealing with you guys, right? Because first thing in the morning, Rooster wants to go out. She has to potty. And then when Rooster goes out, if the weather's nice, she usually stays out. And then I let Lily in the house because those two don't get along. They don't get along. I bet you would get along with Lily, do you think? Yeah? But you're too playful and Lily's too old. Don't know. We'll find out maybe. I'm going to try to introduce her to Lily in the house and see how that goes because they're both lonely. But they got me. But my typical day starts out, you know, I get up and I turn my computer on, I make my coffee. I've cut myself down to 2 cups every morning, but okay. And I get the dogs taken care of. Usually it's, you know, she doesn't get up until like 10 o'clock, man. She sleeps in. She comes out of her doghouse, everybody gets their treats, and then I take 2 beds outside for Rooster, one in the chair, one out in the yard, if the weather's nice. And she goes out, Lily comes in the house. And so I get on, I check my YouTube, get on and surf the internet for a little bit. A couple times a week I may have to run to town. I need to go to the hardware store or groceries. Now I started buying a lot of meat in bulk and putting it in my freezer, so that has cut down quite a bit on my trips. So usually now, maybe twice a week I leave. I left this morning, I had to go get dog food and things like that, but so that's how my mornings start. Usually about well, I'll take something out to thaw for dinner, if I remember. Sometimes I forget, and I have to put them in the microwave and thaw them out. And then about, I guess, 1 o'clock, I start thinking, what am I going to do for a video today? Sometimes it comes right to me. Sometimes it doesn't. And the more I do, the harder it's getting, but there's plenty of subjects to cover that I will never run out of video ideas. But having 2 channels makes it a challenge. But so far, I haven't managed to, the only days I took off was when, you know, we had the situation with her sister. You know they're not paying attention to me, right? They're watching your antics. Yeah. I know she's lonely. I'm trying to give her extra attention, but she demands it. And so I start thinking of what I'm going to do for a video. But usually though, like the last 3 weeks, I have been working on my house. So after the dogs are situated, I have my 2 cups of coffee, do my internet. I go out and I set up the tools, the saws, the sawhorses, whatever it is I got going on. I've been working on the wall in the living room. I have been filming that for the last few weeks. There will be a video coming up on the new channel soon, so I'll put the link to that in the description. It's coming out nice, but I ain't done with it yet. As I said, I'm going to take my time with that channel. I'm going to film the entire thing. You quit eating those. See, you can't just tell a dog quit eating stuff. They don't listen. I know I'm going all over the place. So I'll go out and I'll work for several hours on the house if I don't have appointments, if I don't have something else going with what's going on with the dentist and the sleep studies and all that. So I've been kind of busy, but I've managed to get quite a bit of work done. Then in the afternoon, that's when I sit down, maybe about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, start thinking of ideas for a video. And then I think about where I want to do it. Do I want to do it on this deck? Do I want to do it in a dog apartment? Do I want to do it over there? I try to change that up, where the locations, and a lot of it depends on where the sun is. As you can see, the sun is about right there to me. So it has to get some on my face. Sometimes they don't come out good. And I've already shot the whole video. I'm not doing it again. And then by the time I usually get my videos recorded, usually I'll do the Ouachita Mountain Living one, this channel first. And then I'll go in and I'll feed the dogs. In the winter time, I feed the dogs between 2 and 2:30 p.m. I feed my dogs once a day. Trust me, they're not going hungry eating once a day. Some people feed their dogs twice a day. Some people feed their dogs 3 times a day. If you get the right foods, it's not necessary to feed a dog. They have never in their lives ate more than once a day. And that's all I've ever fed my dogs. And you ain't skinny, are you? No? Well, you ain't. You're a pork ball. I've just switched their food up again. Now that Millie's gone, she's going through the same thing that Lily is on. I've got them on a maintenance Blue Buffalo dry. Well, you're going to eat it too. They get a little bit of that, not a lot of dry kibble, but just enough, and then they'll get a can. I'll split a can between her and Lily. And then, like yesterday, I cooked some liver and cut it up, and I'll put liver in there. I don't give them liver every day, but they'll get liver or some sort of meat, put it in their food. They're usually all satisfied. Is my microphone working? Yes, okay. It's hard to see with the sun. But anyway, once the dogs are fed, then I'll edit the video for this. And then I'll start thinking about what am I going to do for the Dog Man channel. Somehow that channel is doing better than this channel. It gets more views. That channel's been growing pretty quick, but hey, I'm happy that they're both doing well. And then I'll go out and I'll shoot that video. I do all my videos usually the same day. Almost every, there's only a handful of times I can ever remember not shooting the video the same day. And then as soon as I get done shooting the video, I go in, I edit it. Editing for what I do here, these kind of videos, isn't much. I cut out, I usually do a countdown before I start, and I quit doing that because I accidentally left it in the video the other day. Been bad about that, cutting out that. I usually go 1, 2, 3. Because you never know when the camera is just going to start. So I always do a count, and then I'll cut that part out, and then that's where my video begins. And then the end, you know, that's really all I got to edit. I don't put music. I don't do any of that stuff. Thank God I don't have to subscribe to the music subscriptions anymore and use any music. And, you know, editing is easy for talking head videos. So I'll get that up and, you know, I'll get that posted. I don't have set times that I do my videos. I just do them whenever they're done editing. But I have noticed if I put them up anytime before 8 a.m., they do terrible. But most of the time they'll catch up at some point in the day. But when I put a video up, I like it to start off good. Usually when the video starts off with good views, it does good throughout the day. And usually it's videos that you don't think would do very good, like this one. This one I don't think will do very good, but may be surprised. It may go up. Just never know. Are you still behind me? What the heck was that? Wasn't her. It was a ghost dog. Got several of them around here. And so that's my afternoon. And then about 4 o'clock, I'll fire up the grill or electric skillet, whatever it is I'm cooking in that day or whatever I'm cooking. And by 4:30, 5 o'clock, I am eating my dinner. The dogs are still outside doing whatever. And then I'll just, watch a few videos sitting at my desk. And there's always a lot of extra work to do for YouTube, checking things and fixing things. Sometimes I'll go through some older videos and change the titles. I did that yesterday, and one from 2 weeks ago started taking off. So you're constantly working on your videos to improve your views. That's something a lot of people don't realize. You have to change things as it's running. If I put a video up and for some reason the thumbnail or the title did not attract somebody, it's not attracting viewers, get out of here, then I change it. Now YouTube has a thing where you can upload 3 titles at a time, and it randomly puts your video out with those titles, and then it gives you a percentage of which one was clicked on the most, and then I choose that. But sometimes those don't work. And so I spend, a good amount of time still going over the videos and optimizing them and things, and boring stuff. And then after I've had dinner since the time changed, about 6 p.m., I will get Rooster in the house. I will put Lily back in the living room where my big TV is. And I will go in there with Lily and we'll turn on the TV and I'll watch YouTube till probably 10 o'clock at night. And at 9:30 p.m., Lily goes to her dog apartment. I've got the Dutch door. And now I can open the top part. It used to scare her when I did that. I don't know if she thought I was a half of a man or everything scares Lily, okay? And so now I can leave it open. The fireplace heater cools that entire back area, the dog apartment, or it heats it, the fireplace. It heats it up. I don't have to run a heater in the dog apartment anymore. Same with the air conditioner. Cools both rooms. I had that AC on low all summer, and it kept it plenty cool in there, so I insulated it right. And then I don't know, about 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, maybe last night it was midnight, I go to bed. I put on my little cricket machine because I got bad tinnitus in my ears, and I also put on like some real low music, because if I was to just go to sleep in absolute silence, it would drive me nuts with the ringing in my ears. That is something I have to live with the rest of my life. There's no cure with it. And, but the cricket, the VA gave me a little machine that plays all these different sounds, and the crickets seem to put me to sleep the quickest. Country setting crickets. Works. So that's basically my day. Every day, 7 days a week. Sometimes, like Sundays, I really don't ever drag out tools or do much work. I did a e-bike review today, and I'm out here doing my first video. So I don't know if even this has any interest to you guys, but again, watch the reviews. You don't have to watch them, but just know, don't unsubscribe, man. I'm going to do these for a good cause. Why not? Why not take something that these companies are offering me? I'm doing them a service by making a video on this product, and I'm also adding that as an extra video. You're not getting cheated out of a video, but it's an extra video that I'm putting on my channel. But just know, I'm going to be doing this for the dog rescue, and I don't really need anything. But if they're offering me a bike that's $1,200, $1,500 bike or something like that, that the rescue can turn around and sell $1,000 worth of raffle tickets and put that into the dog rescue fund, then I'm going to do it. So just know that's what I'm doing, and I appreciate all you guys. I want to do something for the members here real soon. I'm trying to think of what else I can do. I don't like doing the early video thing. We'll come up with something. Hey, maybe you guys can watch the product reviews. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Now get this in there, get it up to you, and then come out and do another one. Happy trails.